Just time for like 2 or 3 questions. Yes.
We're hearing reporting that the administration is considering sanctions on Russia.
No announcement to make on any issue related to that right now.
Can I ask you, can you talk a little bit about preparations for tomorrow night's speech? Any information you can give us about how Trump prepared, how he wrote his speech, who's going as guests, if you can give any preview?
Well, all I can say is that President Trump is the greatest orator we've ever had in the Oval Office. Every time he's done one of these addresses, Americans have been overwhelmingly the last month of record-setting, record-breaking, unprecedented achievements and accomplishments that have made this opening to the presidency the most successful opening to any presidency that we've ever seen in American history.
Stephen, can you confirm that top aides for the president are discussing military aid to Ukraine?
No announcements to make on anything related to that issue right now, but I will say that public polling is showing that Americans overwhelmingly support President Trump's approach to the war in Ukraine and his push to have an end to the fighting, a peaceful settlement, an end to the bloodshed, and that where President Trump is where the American people are. You've seen by contrast the incredible underwater numbers for President Biden on Ukraine and the policy of forever war. So once again, President Trump is leading with strength and leading with purpose and vision, and the American people overwhelmingly support this position.
Stephen, President Putin has expressed interest in cutting a mineral deal with President Trump in the United States. What is the administration's stance on that?
I appreciate the question. Again, I'm going to refrain from making any news on the Ukraine war right now, but just reiterate that President Trump remains committed to achieving a peaceful settlement, which is the outcome the American people overwhelmingly seek and desire. Got time for 2 more questions.
With regards to Guantanamo, is the administration backing away from housing migrants at Guantanamo?
No, far from it. The Guantanamo Bay is a pillar of this administration's plan to deal with and remove high-threat criminal aliens, as well as to increase and expand our overall detention capacity. And we are using, President Trump is deploying a multifaceted approach to ending migrant crime, sealing the southern border, repelling the invasion, and shutting down trafficking networks, smuggling networks, and now foreign terrorist organizations in the form of criminal cartels and transnational gangs. Gitmo is a major part of that. You've obviously seen more and more assets deployed to the southern border from the Defense Department. This is not just a homeland security mission. This is a military mission. These are the cartels are foreign terrorist organizations, and President Trump is deploying all resources and authorities necessary to end the threat from these foreign terrorist organizations. I have time for one more question.
Mr. Witkoff mentioned that Lebanon may possibly join the Abraham Accord. I mean, we're talking about dispute.
I'll let Mr. Witkoff answer that question. Time for one more question.
With regards to
I'll do 2 more.
Follow up. Thanks, Stephen. With regards to Gitmo, though,
yes,
the administration has been moving a lot of migrants from Gitmo, some back to the U.S., some to other countries, but it does appear
none back to the U.S. That's not correct.
None back to the U.S.
No, it was important to understand.
Some haven't been flown back to Alexandria.
No, what's important to understand about Gitmo is that this is an immigration detention facility. So the objective is to get high-threat criminal aliens out of the United States, not only them, but this is a major part of it, put them into a facility that is safe and secure for some of the most dangerous organizations and entities on the planet, and then find an ultimate and final destination for those aliens. So we're talking about, I don't want to get into any operational details, but you're talking about individuals. Well, I'm not exaggerating in a sentence. If they were this close as we are right now, and they had the ability to grab a sharp object, they would kill the person that far away in half a second. That is how dangerous they are. If they are not in a state of constant control, physical control and monitoring, I mean, you give a pair of eyeglasses, they would break off a piece of the eyeglass and they would stab someone right through the neck. I mean, that's how dangerous these individuals are. And they're here in our community. So we're getting them into a secure facility. Gitmo's also set up by Congress to handle migrant processing in a more general way, too. And we're working on building out that capacity. Well, the emphasis right now is on these very high-threat criminal aliens. I just want to underscore that President Trump, he's made the designation, Tren de Aragua, MS-13, 6 criminal cartels in Mexico are now all designated as foreign terrorist organizations. And so that means that we are going to conduct military and law enforcement cooperative security operations like Gitmo to remove that threat from our communities. One more question.
I was going to ask if you have any preview on the crypto summit on Friday.
No, I have no preview on that right now, so I'll take one more question.
Tomorrow night, Elon Musk, is he going to be a guest of the president for the big address?
I'm not going to break any news or any surprises, so I'll take one more question that I can't answer. Yes.
Vice President Vance is going to the border on Wednesday after tomorrow night's address. Will President Trump be making any trips after the address?
Well, I think let the White House team that is working on the post joint address plans announce that. But I would just say that the success story this administration has to tell, because of its actions on the border, because of President Trump's actions on the border, is truly without equal. President Trump came into office, he deployed the military, he set up a series of historic international agreements, deployed new law enforcement strategies, new prosecution strategies, and significant counter-cartel and counter-smuggling strategies that have resulted in a 95% drop in illegal crossings, and of course those who do cross face significant steep criminal penalties and deportation from the country. So it is the most, you will never find an example of any law enforcement threat or national security threat where you've achieved such a rapid 180 in approach, strategy, and results, and it is truly something to celebrate, while at the same time recognizing that the criminal cartels control and govern the FTOs, the territory in Mexico, and represent a continued, sustained, and dire threat to the United States. And the American government, under President Trump's leadership, will continue to explore all options necessary to deal with that dire threat. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one, all right?